Good morning, beautiful beings. How are you guys doing today? Um, I'm just pausing to give everyone a few minutes to join because, again, this is a very spontaneous Facebook Live, which is exactly the way I love things, and flow. When it wants to flow, I allow it to flow. So I will just pause for a few minutes, and this will give anybody else an opportunity to join, whoever wishes to join. Um, so bear with me. You could take some time, close your eyes, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just allowing yourself to be into the state of presence of this moment, okay? I'm excited about sharing this morning because yesterday was our beautiful, beautiful full moon, one of the biggest full moons actually of the year. It was also Buddha's birthday, and I took some time for myself to go and replenish, but also I've been experiencing many, many shifts again, as you can see. And I just felt like I needed to honor those shifts. And so, as a result, I didn't do a full moon meditation live yesterday, but I did join a group at not UBC, but a group at one of the colleges with the pranic healing center here in Vancouver, and we did a meditation for all of humanity. And to me, those are the best meditations ever, when we're, joining energetic forces and asking the universe to help everyone to evolve and help everyone to heal and bring love and prosperity and peace into every person's life. So it was a very, very powerful meditation and a very powerful experience, which is why I'm doing this Facebook Live, because for a few weeks, well, for a long time, my entire journey, as you know, I've been working on my ego, the longest part of the journey, it appears. And I finally had a breakthrough yesterday that I felt, like I've had little breakthroughs the entire week, thanks to this beautiful full moon and its energies. But the breakthrough yesterday during my meditation was so powerful and so profound that I felt like I finally got to the root of something. I've been trying to get to the root of my ego, and finally I had a breakthrough. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. And that breakthrough came when I realized, the moment that I realized that the ego is what brings us back into physical formation. So our physical body, of course, as we know, it's our vessel, right? And everything is energy, right? God is in each and every one of us. And that energy of God resides in each and every one of us. It's in our conscious, right? And, as we cultivate throughout this journey, we, the more and more cultivation we do, cultivation for me, to simplify it, is basically doing things that nourishes your highest authentic self. So it nourishes your conscious, your highest vibration, right? And it's not just doing things, thinking thoughts that nourishes that vibration. It's every act that you do, do it, do an act that nourishes that vibration, right? Every thought that you have, Every feeling that you have, make sure it's a feeling that's nourishing that highest vibration and not a feeling that's coming from the ego. And my profound moment of realization as I was in deep, deep meditation, we meditated for about an hour. Um, I went into this beautiful, beautiful state of deep presence, and it was presence and connectivity with the vibration of all of humanity and everything. But it was such a powerful connection that it felt like nothingness. It was just I'm not too sure how to put it into words fully, but it was just a state of being that was so profound. There literally isn't really any words to describe it. However, it was in that moment as I was, sending light and love and all of these beautiful light to all of humanity. When that part was over, I just had one simple, simple thought, that was like, wow, this feels so amazing. And the moment I had that thought, that feeling, my ego just came right back. It was just like, bam. And that was when I realized, oh my goodness, my ego is what brings me back into physical formation. It is the vibration of my ego that not only brings me back into physical formation, but it is the ego. It's like, of course, the ego is energy, right? But it is this ego that introduces thought. And it doesn't matter how big that thought is or how little that thought is. It could be an any tiny little bit of thought. It doesn't matter what that thought is, but it's the ego. If the thought comes from the ego, okay? And so it's, I like to give the lottery as an example. It's a great example. We all try very, very hard. Lord knows I've bought, many lottery tickets. And we all try so hard, to win the lottery. And I'm not going to lie, I'm guilty of even, with the spiritual cultivation, after I've reached a certain level of, what I thought was a certain level of spirituality. I thought, okay, well, I should try playing the lottery now. There's a good chance that I would win it, right? But the truth is, I would never have won it coming from that state of thinking, because those thoughts were coming from my ego. See, and this is the trick I realized. So there was a lot of breakthroughs that happened between last night and this morning, because this is what I realized about manifestation, right? Manifestation, it's not our thoughts necessarily that becomes our reality, because thought itself is from the ego, okay? Thought itself comes from the ego. So when we're trying to win the lottery, it's coming from a place of want, or it's coming from a place of need. And anything that comes from a place of want or need, it means that those things are coming from the ego. It's thingness. Eckhart Tolle writes about thingness in his book, and it all totally makes sense now, right? So anything that's coming from a want or need, it's coming from the vibration of the ego. And because it's coming from the vibration of the ego, it's a bit of a lower vibration than you would if you were in flow, for example. And, it's there are thoughts there, yes, which becomes your reality, but it's not the same as a thought that comes from the ego, okay? The thought becomes your reality, but it's a thought. It's no longer a thought, it's a state of being, okay? It's a state of beingness. And the state of being is, it's coming from flow instead, right? So instead of coming from a thought that I want something or I need something, or, of course it takes a thought, because a thought is an energetic vibration. So the thought will actually set that intention, right? But as long as it is coming from that clean, energetic state of oneness and presence, it becomes a flow, and it's no longer a thought. So it's like tapping into your intuition, right? Or your consciousness, being in your conscious self, and just automatically you could feel and when things are going to happen, right? Or if things are going to happen. It's no, it's See, this is very interesting trying to explain this using the limitations of the English language, because this isn't English language anymore, right? It's vibration, it's frequency, it's energy, right? And how do we speak energy, frequency, and vibration, right? It's a feeling, it's a way of being. And so I was very, very excited when I came into that realization with regards to manifestation. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's not our thoughts necessarily that becomes our reality. Yes, our thought helps us, because we are humans, into thinking, what is it that we want to manifest, right? So for example, for those of us who are entrepreneurs and we are bringing to life, our life's purposes, our businesses, it's also important that we tap in to our highest authentic vibration, okay? And in order to do so, it requires cultivation through inner work, okay? And when we begin to cultivate, we learn about our ego, and we learn about every single thing about ourselves. This is why I tell people, you're capable. We're all capable of healing ourselves. We don't need, yes, because, okay, I shouldn't say we don't need doctors, because we do. Unfortunately, it's how, our world was shaped, right? And so on. So we have health issues and so forth. But, when you move when you move into the next level, into another vibration, okay, into a higher vibration, you start to realize that we're all capable of healing ourselves, okay? We're all capable of healing our own traumas. We just have to learn how to shift our, that conditioning and our limiting beliefs and so forth, right? Because those are the things that keeps us stuck in our egoic mental state of being, okay? And those are the things that, the Buddha said you have to learn how to get out of your own way. And, every time I experience another breakthrough, I see the power and the importance of that, what has become a favorite sentence or a thought of mine, a favorite quote of mine, okay? Learning how to get out of my own way is basically, learning how to function from a state of presence and flow rather than from a state of my egoic mental conditioning, okay? And again, the ego is, the ego and I have had a very, very interesting journey together, to be really honest. There were times when I thought, oh my God, the ego is the godlike energy that's in each and every one of us, because had it not been for the ego, I wouldn't have evolved as where I wouldn't have been where I'm at right now, okay? Because it's showing me things that I wouldn't have seen about myself, okay? It's teaching me. The ego is my teacher, yet, at the same time, it presents itself in it's just such a strong energetic vibration, because I've spent 43 years of my life feeding that vibration and developing it, right? So it's become such a strong, energetic vibration in my day-to-day life. In the past, no longer that, but in the past, it became such a strong energetic vibration that sometimes I thought of it as a devil. Because, in my journey, it really gave me a hard time, but at the same time, that the hard time that I think that it's giving me, really, it was trying to teach me, right? It was trying to stretch me and teach me how to focus, right? It was that difficult time that the ego was giving me that taught me how to focus even more deeply on, getting to its root and understanding the vibration and where it's coming from. And yesterday, when I had my breakthrough, I realized, oh my goodness, it is the ego that brings us back into that into this physical formation, which we are, which is our physical body, our vessel, right? In which this energy resides. Okay. And so, beautiful beings, I learned that it is not our thoughts, again, that necessarily becomes our reality. Our thought is just a small part of that when you're manifesting, but it is your vibration. So if you cultivate through your inner work journey, okay, and you keep cultivating and just feeding your highest conscious selves, or your highest authentic self, your highest vibration, eventually you will start to vibrate at a level that is a lot higher than the frequency than the vibration of your ego, right? And so you start to vibrate more at from a state of presence. And when you start to vibrate in that state of presence and flow, it's amazing, but automatically you just know what you need to do. You just know, right? Because you're already feeling everything that is happening. It's like it's already happened. I don't know if I'm doing the greatest of job explaining it, but it's literally, and so you've become, a master in manifesting because you're vibrating at that conscious level. And that's what I wanted to share with everybody this morning, because I thought this is exciting news, for me, because Lord knows sometimes I wonder, why is it that sometimes, I would think something and it would manifest. And then sometimes I would think it and it wouldn't manifest. Like I didn't understand what was going on there, right? So of course, being me, I had to get to the bottom of this, and sure enough, I did. Right? And so it has to do with our vibration and where we're vibrating at, because when we're vibrating, at us and the frequency of the vibration. So, consistency, of course, is important in everything. And so when we're vibrating, consistently in the journey at a certain level, everything becomes a flow, right? And it's no longer coming from that egoic charge. Okay, it's instead what you want to manifest comes from a state of presence and flow. And if it's coming from that space, then you are beautiful beings manifesting your highest authentic vibration, that which serves your highest authentic selves. And that's all I wanted to share with everybody this morning. So happy full moon and happy manifesting. If anybody have any questions at all with regards to this, I would be more than happy to dive into the details, and really, because, in Facebook Live, I become a little bit nervous and, unpacking it the way I think it versus the way it actually comes out. It's still, I'm still growing. It still comes out a little bit different, but my thoughts itself, it's very profound, and I write it and it's very profound. And so if anyone have any questions with regards to manifestation, I would be more than happy to literally walk you through the process, or if you have any questions with regards to the ego, whenever you have, all I could, what I could say to everyone is, when you're thinking a thought or you're feeling, and it's something that you want to manifest, especially with in relation to your businesses. Again, for entrepreneurs, ask yourself, where's that thought coming from? Is this thought or this feeling serving my highest authentic, self? Is it serving, my highest authentic self? And if you're uncertain, then that's probably an indication that you need to dive in there and unpack where those thoughts are coming from. And believe you me, you will find the answer. And if you're still not too sure, ask and you shall receive. That's my favorite universal mantra, okay? Ask the universe, because when you ask the universe, you're asking, that divine consciousness, that golden thread of wisdom from all of the divine beings, like the Buddha and Jesus and all of those who came before us, okay, that have done this journey and this cultivation, and that they've left us beautiful, beautiful pearls of wisdom that we could browse and borrow, right? And that would help show us the way. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all humans, and we're all in this together. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of your blessings. And thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. Have a divinely blessed day. Happy full moon. And I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. All my relations. Namaste.